There's a reason that some closers can say some of the wildest shit on calls and the prospect just gets it, while other closers can say the exact same thing and get nothing. It's not the words themselves, it's whether the prospect can actually feel what you're saying. And that's exactly what a good analogy does. Analogies are some of the most powerful tools that you can use on a sales call because the prospect just accepts it as truth if you put it in the form of an analogy. If you take something that they already accept as true, compare it to the point that you're trying to make, they're just going to accept what you're saying. So today I'm going to show you the top 3 analogies that I've used to consistently hit 20 to 30 grand a month as a high ticket closer. And make sure you stay till the end to learn how to combine all of these together. So let's talk about why analogies work, right? Similar to what I said earlier, people just accept it as truth. You see, most closers try to out logic a prospect. They try to throw information at them. They just try to throw a bunch of logic at them. Like, let's say the person's very fearful, or the person's been in this loop or in this pattern, and then they'll say something like, you know, you got to do different things to get different results. Like, no fucking shit, I have to do different things, right? This is mental masturbation, but they don't actually absorb it. And the thing about analogies as well is that it makes the prospect feel like the main character. When you give the analogy, they see themselves in that. And if they can accept your analogy as true, then they're going to accept the comparison as true, and the comparison directly relates to them. Now, the thing is about analogies is your discovery has to actually be good enough for it to land, and you need to know what belief exactly you're trying to shift here. If you do it too early, if you don't use it correctly, it's not going to land, and they're just going to agree and move on. So the first one is going to be the gym analogy as it relates to time. Now, the gym analogy is very simple. It's when a prospect is stuck in this loop of thinking and they don't realize it, right? So when it comes to time, somebody is likely coming to you because they want to be able to have more time to some degree, whether it's starting a business and learning and, you know, being able to buy back their time that way, whether it's similar to what I sold, which was coaching for doctors and showing them how to be more efficient in the visit and have more time that way. Like, whatever the case is, to some degree, like, they're getting more time back, right? Or maybe if you sell fitness, it's more quality time because they're healthier. So the gym analogy is you're going to ask them what they've done towards getting your solution. And then if they say, I haven't had the time, say time's an interesting topic because time's ultimately the reason we need to do something so that you have more time to be able to do X, Y, and Z. So you have more time to be able to be with your kids, to be with your family, to do this, to do that. Time is the reason you need to do it, can't be the reason you don't. It's almost like an overweight person saying, I'll start going to the gym when I lose weight. It makes no sense that way, right? Do you see how this way of thinking of I don't have time, do you see how that's kept you in this pattern? Yes. Okay, how so? Do you feel like that way of thinking is worth holding on to, or should we maybe start to let go of that? They're gonna say, let go of it. Okay, are you ready to let go of that way of thinking? Yes. Why now? Only reason you could do this though is because of how strong the analogy lands, and I also believe the shit. So if you say it like a weirdo, it's not gonna land. Here's a clip right here of me doing this live on a call with the gym analogy when it comes to money. Money is the reason you need to do something, but it sounds like it's also the reason you haven't.
Right.
Right? It's almost like an overweight person, a 300 and 400 pound person saying, I know I need to lose weight. I know I need to go to the gym to lose weight, but I'm gonna start, let me lose the weight first, and then I'm gonna go to the gym. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how the reason that you've needed to do something has also
Yeah.
been the reason you haven't?
Dude, did you finish up in psychology or something? What you have a degree in?
Similar, man, similar. My degree's in helping people, right?
Yes, that's
Because
awesome.
if I can say something direct here without offending you, is that
Yeah,
okay?
that's cool. Go for it.
That's what's going to keep you stuck. That's what's going to keep you in this place.
Okay.
Because do you see how your relationship with money, again, the reason you need to has ultimately been the reason you haven't? Like, do you see how that's been a self-sabotaging loop?
Yep.
Yeah. And like, do you see how that way of thinking is what's potentially kept us in this place?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So I guess the right question is, and it's not overnight, it's not going to happen tomorrow or the next day, right? But that way of thinking of hesitancy to put money forward when we know we need money, do you think that's worth keeping, or should we maybe start to let go of that way of thinking?
I think we should let it go. I mean, I should let it go.
Yeah, because if we really look at it, man, like what has that costed you so far, that perspective?
$500,000
So,
forex.
yeah.
I lost half a mil in the yeah. When the Brits and U United Europe, Europe United, whatever,
Hmm.
EU separated, I lost $497,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
Holy
that's why I'm
shit.
kind of
And it all goes back to your relationship with money, though, because I
yes,
could show
yes.
you all this cool, sexy AI shit and the technical stuff. Like, I could show you all that, but this, like I said, is what's going to keep you stuck, right?
Mhm.
And so I guess I know I'm being direct here, but it's because I want to help. Like, how much longer do we want to continue allowing this fear of letting go of money or this hesitancy be the reason that we continue to not have stability? Like, how much longer do you want that to go on?
I mean, I can survive if I keep it so long. You know what I mean? Because it's safety net for running. Every day is running lower and lower because you got your life and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, are you willing, again, I'm not saying it'll happen the next day or tomorrow, but are you willing to take the steps to actually let go of that way of thinking so that you can build something that gives you the stability and control?
I have to,
Yeah,
and
why?
I want to be honest with you. I don't want to be stuck like you said in this loophole that I'm always scared to lose money and stuff like that.
Yeah, and why now to let go of that?
Right?
Like, why? Like, why now to let go of that?
Why now? Because I need to reset my way of thinking.
Okay.
I mean, that's why I kind of need to talk to a person. Everything that I do now, it's emails, text messages. I never talked to anybody in the last 6 months about anything like regarding this adventure. So when
Yeah.
I talk to you guys or you or somebody like that came me kind of like, hey, this is it. This is real shit. And the
And talking
launch,
is a good first step, man. Talking is a good
yeah,
first step. But if we don't have this conversation, then that fear, it's going to show itself and continue to keep you stuck in this loop and this fear of losing money. You see what
right.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
So he talked about psychology, right? Like our brains are funny, and part of you knows this isn't serving him, and he knows he needs to let go of it, but there's a level of comfort attached to that, even though it's not serving you. Right? So if that way of thinking were to show itself, or if the fear were to show itself, would we as your coaches have your permission to keeping you accountable and empowering you to overcome that?
Yeah.
Are you sure, man? I'm not always this nice. Are you sure?
No, no, no. Yeah, you're right. Because I was in a comfort zone making the kind of money when I was working, but money was coming in.
Right.
Now money just goes out. And like I said, it's not, I'm not okay with this, because like I need to do something to change that. I don't want to be in my life's, I need to get out of my comfort zone. There you go. That's what I want to say.
That's right. I respect that.
Now, before we get into number two, if you want to learn how to use these frameworks on your calls and have someone reviewing your specific offer, your specific calls, and tell you exactly where you're leaving money on the table, that's exactly what I do with my one-on-one students. So hit the link in the description and apply, and we'll see if it's a fit. But for now, let's go into number two. Now, number two is when you're describing, this is mostly, I do this in the pitch, right? When I'm describing how we're going to help them have a foundation for whatever I'm selling. So let's say, for example, I've sold YouTube automation, and one of the first things was helping them pick their niche with the faceless YouTube channel. I would tell them that the reason this is so important is because you don't want to be rowing a boat that has holes in it. Kind of like you right now, right? If you're on a shitty offer and you don't have the skill set to get on another offer, and you don't have the network or the guidance to help you land on another offer, you're kind of rowing a boat that has holes in it. And no matter how hard you row, you're just going to keep sinking. So anyway, I use that as an analogy on calls when I'm pitching. Or I also sold a program teaching people how to start e-com stores. And it'd be the same thing when it comes to helping them find the product, helping them pick the niche for their store, right? Because you don't want to be rowing a boat that ultimately has holes at the bottom of it. No matter how sexy your website is, how great your marketing is, if the boat has holes, you're just going to keep sinking and wondering, why am I doing everything right, but nothing's working. This is really powerful for the pitch and for them to see why your support is so important. And if you do this properly, you're ultimately DQing the whole, oh, I could just go do this on my own. I also use this in the discovery when I'm asking them why get help. why get support as opposed to just trying to figure this out on your own? And if they say something like, yeah, I want to be able to have the right foundation, I'd be like, yeah, because ultimately you don't want to be rowing a boat that has holes in it at the bottom. Now, the last one is going to be similar to the first one, except this one, it's going to be the same gym analogy, except now it's going to relate to money. So I use this in discovery and in objection handling. In discovery, when someone says, oh, the reason I didn't move forward with anything in the past is because I didn't have the money, or in objection handling when they say like, oh, that's too much money. It goes the exact same way. Money is an interesting topic because if we look at it, money is ultimately the reason we need to do something so that you have more money for X, for Y, for Z. It can't also be the reason you don't. It's like an overweight person saying, I'll start going to the gym when I lose weight. I need more money so that I can be able to have a better life, so that I can be able to provide this and this for my family. But because I don't have any money, I can't. It's like a chicken or the egg situation here. Do you see how this way of thinking or this relationship with money has kept us in this loop? Yes. Okay, how so? Think it's worth holding on to? No. Are you ready to let go of it? Yes, I am. Why now? Can I keep you accountable to it? The thing you'll see about the gym analogy, and this works really well for both myself and my clients, is it's interchangeable with almost anything that they give you. And it's so powerful because fitness makes so much sense, right? Like, obviously I'm going to start going to the gym when I lose weight. That obviously doesn't make any sense. And universally we can accept that as truth, that it doesn't make any sense. Now, what happens if the prospect is fat, right? If the prospect is fat, I'll turn the analogy into a story. So I'll be like, like I used to have this aunt, and this is fucking true, by the way. I had this aunt who used to always say that she'll start going to the gym once she loses a little weight and she becomes slim. And it would always baffle me because it's like, Auntie, this is why you need to go to the gym. You see what I'm saying? And I would just relate it to them. And like when we look at that, and then we look at money, money is ultimately the reason you need to do something. Can't also be the reason you don't. You're going to put it in a story if the prospect is like clearly fucking fat. Very important here. Time is the reason you need to. It can't also be the reason you don't. Right? It's like an overweight 300-pound person saying, I'll start going to the gym when I lose weight. Let me lose weight first, then I'll start going to the gym. Do you see how letting time be the reason you don't take action when it's the reason you need to? Do you see how that has kept you in this loop here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, do you see how that way of thinking has kept you stuck?
Yes, because it's all repetitive.
Right. Okay. And you're smart for seeing that, right? But like when we really, really look at it, man, that perspective, that way of thinking, what has that costed you so far?
A lot mentally, physically, hearing.
You know? And so how much longer do you want to continue telling yourself this story of I don't have time and allowing it to cost you the mental peace, the clarity, the hearing, like you said? How much longer do you want that to continue?
Honestly, don't want it to continue.
Yeah. And I know I'm challenging you here, man. It's in your best interest.
No, you're good.
Because like I guess the better question is like, are you ready to let go of that way of thinking of I don't have time and get resourceful with the time so that you could get out of your situation?
To want to move forward, with using my time a lot wiser.
Yeah. And why now to change that relationship with time rather than like using it as a reason not to do something? What's different now?
Family.
Okay, what do you mean?
The reason for wanting to use my time a lot wiser, or how exactly are you wording it?
Yeah, the like not letting time respectfully, like not using the excuse of I don't have time and that's why I'm not starting something or that's why I haven't started something. Like why now to let go of that way of thinking?
Because I only have so much time on this place. I guess that'd probably
Oh,
be.
good. Like I said, we'll have some light bulbs, man. Dig deeper. Because that's been the case last year too,
Yeah.
right? So like, why get resourceful now? Why be the person who is worthy of not having to work a job anymore? The person who's worthy of not having to answer to a boss, of not having to do these things. Because it starts with your own relationship with time. So why now to break that way of thinking? What's actually different?
Honestly, I don't have an answer to that.
Okay. So maybe a better way to ask it then is why change anything? Why not just continue doing what you're doing?
I want freedom.
Okay. You want freedom?
Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest ones.
Yeah. And is it like a series of events? Well, let me ask you this, man, because like I'll use fitness as an example, like I always do. I
Yeah.
always use fitness analogies. I used to like work with like really big people, and there's typically either a series of events or a moment that is like, I'm tired of being this way. And so I remember I had a client that said that her daughter sat on her lap, his lap, I mean, sat on his lap and squeezed his stomach and said, Dad, why are you so squishy? Now, kids are fucking innocent. They don't even know what they're asking.
Yeah.
Or another one, Dad, how come every time we play, you get so tired so quick? These are the things that make people change. Or it's a series of events that they're fed up with. And so if we've been in this loop, if we've been in this pattern, if we've wanted better for ourselves, but we've constantly made reasons as to why we can't do what's required to get better, what are you seeing right now that is your fuck it, that is your fuck it moment of no, I have to figure it out and I have to make the time. Because if we don't unpack this, fuck the program, right? It'll continue to show itself
Yes.
even when you try to start something.
My fuck it moment is probably
Hmm.
getting mentally bullied, I guess, in a way.
Okay, what do you mean?
So it's like with this job. For the past 6 to 7 years that I've been with the company, it's always been you're just a pawn. You're just a
Mm.
pawn for this company, and we can toss you away at any moment.
Mm.
And I think that's why I've always strived and driven to do what I can to keep my spot as a pawn. I'm kind of fed up with it.
Respect that. That's a fucking real answer, right? That's a much realer answer than we only have so much time on this planet. Because it's the same thing. We do only have so much time on this planet,
Yeah.
right? But you don't want to live the rest of your life being a pawn, being mentally bullied by this job. Fuck the job, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And our brains are a funny place because part of you knows that this isn't serving him and knows that it's not good for him, at least that way of thinking of I don't have time. But
Yeah.
there's also the side of you that's been telling himself that for so long, that's been in this place for so long. And so if that way of thinking were to show itself, would we as your coaches have your permission to keep you accountable and empowering you to overcome that? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure? I'm not always this nice. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
The thing about analogies and good analogies is that they, again, probably my third or fourth time saying it in this video, but it's something that we universally accept as truth. Obviously, you're going to the gym when you lose weight, it doesn't make sense.
Obviously, you don't want to be rowing a boat that has holes in it because you're just going to keep sinking. It has to be something that they can agree with. Now, if they don't agree with it, then the analogy is not going to land. So take this and start to form your own, start to come up with your own with this concept that I'm saying. So those are my biggest analogies that I always come back to on calls, both for myself and my clients, like Chris here, who went from 3K a month to 30 grand a month, or Enrique, who went from 5K to 15K. It's because they got really fucking good at this stuff. And they even started creating their own after they understood the concept. So start dropping these into your calls this week and watch how differently your prospects react. If this helped you, then click the link on the screen. It'll be somewhere over here. And you can watch a full call breakdown where I use the gym analogy and you can see the entire call leading up to it. And of course, if you want to 2 to 3x your commissions on your current offer or help get placed on an offer that you can actually make 15, 20, 30 grand a month, hit the first link in the description and apply to work with me one-on-one. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.